All right, we live, straight politicking. Episode 64, Alex Alonso 101. I'm here with Munchie B, the mayor. And when we did episode 63, we took off last week, but episode 63, I was thinking, Munchie, is there a community, a hood in LA that identifies with 6'3"? Because off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
6'3", 6'3". No.
There's one number, a rare number that's not represented in LA, if I got that correct.
No, the closest thing is 6 Deuce, which is East Coast and the Brands, and then 6'4", which is Campanella Park Families and 6'4" Brand.
Yeah,
but no 63.
The defunct 6'4" brims, which I used to see as a teenager.
No, they still push 6'4" over there, Harvard Park.
Oh, yeah, on the Harvard Park. Yeah, they did.
6'1", 6'2", 6'4" over there.
Yeah, they did. Did they push 5'9" over there?
Defunct.
Okay. And then the 6'4s that used to be in Inglewood, defunct,
right,
which was on a real small street called Long. I wonder, does that street ever really pop up, Long? Are you familiar with Long?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a real small street, though.
Yeah, all them streets in the back streets by Campanella Park is small streets, the street Gay, Long, all that.
Oh, yeah, Gay's right there. That was part of 6'4" Brim Hood. Gay, Long.
They all small streets.
Yeah, I can't remember some of the other streets. I used to have a girlfriend in high school that lived, I think she actually lived on Long. That's how I got tapped in with the 6'4" Brims. And I guess they got sucked up into the Campanella Parks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I guess it didn't make sense to have them there and the Campanella Parks there. They just merged it all in.
But over there by Harvard Park, they still got dudes that put a 6'4" Brim. They not the biggest set over there. You know, 6'1" and 6 Deuce is, but 6'4" is still some over there pushing 6'4" Brim.
Yeah, I was thinking there is no 63 anything in L.A.
Nah, not that I could think of. Nope.
And almost every number is taken.
All of them. 60, 6'1", 6 Deuce, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah. All right. I got the names of those detectives for you. We talked about Maurice Hastings doing them 38 years after he was framed by these two detectives in Inglewood. I don't know if you probably don't know these guys. They're probably not around. Officer Grant Price and Officer Russell Einhart. I'm not even sure if they're still alive. I have to do some deep digging on that. But yeah, and what's crazy, when I was looking up their names, the guy that's DNA that it eventually matched to once the technology, caught up, they had this guy in custody for a whole nother crime.
A kidnapping or something, right? Or another R?
I think it was a robbery. But they had him in custody, and they opted to prosecute Maurice Hastings, who turned out to be 100% innocent. And that is just mind-boggling that these detectives can sleep at night by saying, hey, man, we're going to have to arrest somebody. Because, they put pressure on these cops.
To close cases. And even though we want to blame Officer Price and Officer Einhart, it's the people he works for. It's his bosses. It's the people putting pressure on him, saying, "Hey, I need this rape and robbery closed immediately." It's not, it's their fault too, though. You could, you know what I'm saying? You can't get sucked into the they system on how they want it to work, and then standing up and going and bucking a program. It create Christopher Dorners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And, oh, man, I saw this incredible video last night. It happened earlier this year of a man getting pulled over, some smaller town. I think it was in California. He got pulled over. This man was in his 60s. They pulled him over and said, "Give me your ID." He puts the ID up against the window.
Officer Ontiveros, Bluefield Police.
Yes, sir.
You might roll down your window so I can talk to you?
I can hear you just fine, thank you.
Okay. So, the reason why I pulled you over is you ain't got a headlight.
I saw it burn out on the way in.
Okay, that's fine. So you're aware you don't have a headlight?
Well, what I'm aware of is that it burned out.
You got your driver's license, registration, insurance. You want to go to court? Do you want to pay a fine? So you don't want to roll down your window so I can hear you better. Go ahead and pass it out.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Thank you.
Okay, so this is how it's going to work. That is a criminal offense. You have to provide your ID. If not, you're now concealing ID. We're going to take you to jail. Your choice.
New Mexico state law,
Okay.
the license must be provided and exhibited. It does not say I have to hand you.
Okay, that's fine.
There it is.
That's fine. I'll get it in just a second. So you don't want to hand me your ID. I'm going to ask you one more
The
time.
law says it must be provided and exhibited. It does not say I have to hand you anything.
He doesn't want to physically give it over. You ever seen these some of these guys, like they really want to push the limits of the constitutionality?
I heard of people cracking the window this much and then sliding through the window, but never just pushing it to the window.
I've seen a few where they put it to the window because in certain states it says that once a peace officer pulls you over, you must present your ID. You must present it. So people have interpreted presenting as I could just put it up against the window. That's presenting. And some states, some guys have gotten away with it, but this guy wasn't going to get away with it this day. For whatever reason, these two cops was adamant. You need to give me your ID. So he said, no, I'm not giving it to you. It's not going to happen. This dude's in his 60s. So eventually they start to break his window. And they're hitting it with some tool that they have, and the window won't break.
Just like I said, headlight is a criminal offense. This is the reason why I pulled you over. If you read your state statute, it says you have to provide identification when a crime is being committed or has been committed.
A burned out headlight is an ordinance violation.
That's fine.
Not a crime.
A headlight is a state. It's city, state, it's everywhere.
State law
That's
still
fine.
says provided
That's
and
fine.
exhibited. It does not say I have to hand you anything.
As well.
I'm not concealing anything.
You
It's
are
right there in
concealing
front of you.
ID. I asked for your information.
And I am
So you
providing
have
it
to
and
provide it.
exhibiting it
Okay.
exactly as the
That's
law
fine.
says.
That is perfectly fine.
Good.
So you know what happens, right? If you don't provide your information, you have
It's
to go
right there in front
have
of
to
you.
go to a judge immediately, correct?
That's not true either.
That is, okay.
I am within the law on this
Okay.
provided and exhibited, and you know it.
Okay.
You're just trying to get around it, and I'm not going to
Perfect.
play your game.
I just want to make sure you're aware of all of this.
What I'm aware of is that you're trying to be a tyrannical, egomaniacal badge thug,
That's fine.
and I'm not going to let you get away with it. I'm holding you to the law. You don't like the letter of the law? That's your problem.
That's perfectly fine.
We'll see about that.
Roll your window down.
It's down enough, thank you.
Roll your window all the way down.
It is down enough,
Hey, sir.
thank you. You
Sir.
can bluster and fume till your eyes burst out of your head, and I am not breaking the law by doing that, and you do know it.
Okay, I'm Officer Weaver, okay? What's your name?
I'm providing it right there.
You need to provide it in my hand.
The law says provided and exhibited, and in all 5 pages of it, nowhere does it say I have to hand it to you or surrender it to you.
if you do not roll your
And
window
you
down, I'm gonna
are
break your
violating the
window
law.
out. I'm gonna break your window out. Roll your window down.
I have done my job according to the law, provided and exhibited.
This is your last warning to roll the window down.
Officer, I am within the law.
You're not. Hold on. You're not, because a crime is being committed, so you have to provide identification.
And I am providing it, and I am exhibiting it according to state law.
So when an officer is provided, it's covered.
You run just the name.
Roll down the window right
You run just the name looking for another.
We're breaking this window.
Call Sarge.
Back up, dude. 129. Give us 33. We're gonna have to break this guy's window. You got a window breaker?
But eventually he goes back to the car, the cop. He comes back to his car with another tool. The window starts to break.
They caught him on camera doing it. They ran just the name in an attempt to get away. I believe this is high-strength plexiglass because this is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. It probably will break eventually.
So you're going to open it.
I am not going to open my window. I'm doing what the law says. You might want to get your sergeant out here. I am providing my information.
Your headlight is a crime. That's the reason why I'm trying to make contact.
and then they shattered a whole window. You won't believe what this 60-something-year-old white man did.
What?
Think about one of the stories we're about to do later today about the young man from Harlem. But this guy didn't miss. He shot and killed Officer Ontiveros, hit him in the neck. And of course, they returned fire and the old man died. But I was just like, wow, this dude crashed out over not wanting to give his ID.
I wonder, so that was justified on the police behalf?
Yeah, they justified that. Hey, dude pulled a strap out and started busting.
But he hit the police officer.
He killed him. He killed one of them. Yeah. They rushed him to the hospital. This is all on body cam. So you see the whole thing plays out on video. Body cam and dash cam.
So I wonder how the courts look at that when somebody pushed their ID to the window instead of passing it.
It's a state-by-state basis. I haven't really learned a lot about it, but I've seen quite a few. I watch a lot of these audit videos. I like to see guys push the limits. And I've seen some guys get away with it with the cops. Here's my insurance, I'm putting it up against the window. That's all you're getting, officer. So if the state has in its law that it must be presented, that's legal. But if it says that you must give, then you definitely got to give it. So I don't really know much about which state does what or how it's written. But I don't think I'm going to ever, if let's say California says you could present it, and if you're still a driving man, do you push it that way? Do you say, I'm putting it up against the window? Or do you just give it, even though you might have a legal right to push it against the window? But once you do that, you're going to start getting pushback from the cops.
I mean, if I feel I'm absolutely getting pulled over for no reason,
yeah,
then I might, you give me a hard time, I'm going to give you one.
If you're getting pulled over for no reason
at all,
and you got all your papers, you got your registration, you got everything,
I'm straight.
Yeah,
and I ain't did nothing. I know y'all just, you know what I mean, trying to meet a quota, try to write a ticket on. Nah, you go put your glasses on, look through this window, and read his ID. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that was an incredible piece of video to watch. I was shocked because I didn't know this is the first time I'm watching this, so I immediately started reading articles on it. I was like, "Damn, this is 2025." I thought it was an old video.
I would like to know what state that's in.
Oh man, I'll tell you right now. All you got to do is look up Officer Ontiveros.
And that white boy wasn't playing.
And and the guy was an older guy, and he doesn't. Oh man, it was just crazy. Like you was willing to crash out over not giving them your ID.
He don't like the police.
Yeah, he doesn't. They actually pulled up a few of his previous arrests. He's been arrested for minor things in his life, minor stuff like trespassing, or I think he may have had a DUI, but he never went to jail for nothing serious. Officer Timothy Ontiveros, and let me see what city this was in. I want to say it was somewhere in California up north. Officer Timothy Ontiveros of Bloomfield, New Mexico. Okay, Bloomfield, New Mexico. Police officer who was killed in the line of duty May 2025 after being shot during a traffic stop. And yeah, man, that was serious. So, I mean, I hate to see that happen. But I was saying to myself, like, there's two ways to look at this. And most of the comments under the video were for the police, obviously, right? Because the police got killed. But at the same time, is it worth shattering a 60-something-year-old man's window, dragging him out for a traffic violation?
They think since he don't want to cough up the license, like just pass it, it must be something bigger. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it was. It was a traffic violation.
But gun laws, what is it out there? Because he probably didn't want to pass it because he had a strap in the car.
Oh, nah. The strap issue never even came up. He got pulled over for some, like, let's say, I don't remember what it was, a light. He was like, give me your ID.
But he probably didn't want to risk telling him to step out because he had a strap. I mean, of course, the strap issue ain't going to come up now because it's an unalived police officer. That's the bigger issue. You know what I'm saying?
The guy that did the shooting was Dennis Armenta. Dennis Armenta. It's got to be one of the biggest crash outs I've seen in 2025. I mean, even if he was concerned about the gun, and New Mexico, I don't even know what the gun laws are in New Mexico.
Neither. You ever been out there?
Yeah, I went to a wedding in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I don't think it was that serious. You know, they weren't asking him to get out the car. They weren't even asking to search the car. They just wanted his ID to write him a ticket. He said, "I ain't giving you my ID. You want my ID? Here, put it up against the glass." He cracked the window like you said.
He one of them defiant ones. You feel me?
Yeah,
he bucked the law.
He's definitely and
they say put your hands up. You go say for what? Like you feel me? You go. They were like, put your hands behind your back. I'd rather put it on the car.
Okay. Dennis Armenta was 58, so I was off by a couple years. 58-year-old dude crashed out.
Rest in peace to that man, though, man.
Oh man, they lit him up.
Yeah, but they was pulling him over for what though? I want to get into like, well, why was this stop even being done? Now the partner probably like, man, we should have just let him go on about his day.
Yeah.
Because now his partner gone.
And what if Timothy Ontiveros has a wife and kids? She's probably saying like, damn.
All this behind a license.
Over a traffic stop? I lost my husband, or I lost my son, or I lost my dad over a traffic stop? That it didn't have to go that way. But, you know, I don't want to seem like I'm siding on the dude, but you know, I'm telling my sons, you give them your driver's license. I don't even care if you're allowed to present it. I don't even want you getting into no confrontation with any trigger happy cops.
Well, I'm always on the side of the pedestrian or the person. What would you want to call them? I'm always on their side because we seen too much over the years where peace officers, police officers, whatever you want to call them, they got a license to kill. They get away with it.
Yeah, but sometimes if you
there are good police officers out there. I just think they're the minority. I think the majority of them is not good police officers.
That's what Dr. Dre said.
If you sit back and you watch your colleagues do BS and plant guns on people, take them to jail for stuff they didn't do, close cold cases that don't belong to this person, they know damn well this person innocent, you just as bad as them. So I think majority of police officers, maybe 80%, 75, between 75 and 8% is bad cops.
Well, if you define it that way, yeah. Technically, they're not doing anything bad, but just turning a blind eye to when they see other cops doing dirt.
Yeah, so so I'm sticking with 75, between 75 and 80.
Okay, what about the cops that just actually do dirt? Like they just up to no good all the time. What percent? How many Michael Dowds are out there? And by the way, I'm about to drop that interview. I said, F it, I'm dropping it.
That part.
This is from 2023, but I'm dropping it.
What percentage is just throwing through bad cops on some Trinity Day type ish?
Just corrupt, yeah.
Probably like, that's on his level, probably like, damn, that's a good one. Probably like 45, 40.
Oh, wow. I think it's a lot lower than that. I say less than 10%.
45, 40.
No, I'm going with less than 10 are corrupt. Now, I'm not saying on Michael Dowd level or on Training Day level, but just anyone that's going to lie on a report, come to court and perjure themselves, misrepresent the facts. You know,
I was saying Michael Dowd level 45.
That's crazy because
but you talking about what you talking about? That's like 55, 60. Because whenever they get subpoenaed to court, they don't even want to remember. They don't remember what happened. This case is from a year and a half ago. Now we finally about to start trial, and instead of just saying I don't recall, the DA, would you like to review the report? Oh yeah, they give you what they exactly said a year and a half ago, then give it back. Oh yeah, I remember. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna want to let your partner down? You want to know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rock with my partner. I know he lying, but whatever. I'm gonna co-sign his lie. So it's like 60% that do that.
Well, I would say that cops that interface with gangs, they definitely embellish the facts more often. But not all cops.
What percentage don't?
A lot of cops don't even deal with gangs.
Yeah, they do. What you mean? I ain't talking about gang cops, but all officers deal with gangs, especially in California. What department don't
Well, look, hey,
lie in a gang area?
let's just think of our city, LA. We got 20 LAPD divisions.
Right. And all 20 deal with gangs.
All 20 probably have a little bit of gangs, but like
They don't-
80% of the gangs are in like 5 divisions.
They don't have a gang problem, but they you know what I'm saying, they got to deal with it.
Yeah, but the gang issue in Los Angeles is concentrated to like five or six of those 20 divisions. That's where the gang issues are. So I would say more than half our city, those cops rarely ever even see a gang member.
Do you count Burbank?
Yeah, Burbank is one of those cities where you rarely gonna see it. There's one hood in Burbank.
No, it's Playboys. It's Elmwood.
There's Elmwood, but
Playboys.
I'm not familiar with the Playboys.
Playboys got a click in Burbank, bro.
Okay, well the gang community in Burbank is just a small little corner of the city, and if you work that, of course,
And when you from one of them small cities where you don't really have that going on, they don't want it at all. They like, wait. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Police, they some of the biggest liars you ever want to meet.
Okay. Real quickly, singer D'Angelo, he died this week.
Rest in peace.
Only 51 years old,
Young.
and apparently he had cancer, and that's young to have cancer, 51. But hey, cancer could hit pretty much any age. But I was a little surprised to see that he did have a lot of problems with drugs later in his career, and kind of went downhill. But yeah, man,
This Cancer Awareness Month.
R&B Grammy award-winning singer D'Angelo. Dude had some hits too. I'm trying to remember what years that was. It had to be mid to like 97, 98, somewhere.
90s.
Yeah, the late 90s. He was doing his thing. And I guess he had this pancreatic cancer for a while and died this week. He rose to fame in the 1990s with his debut album, Brown Sugar. Now, Brown Sugar was a hell of a song, but it was actually I know he was inspired by Rick James, because Rick James had a song called Mary Jane. The song's about smoking weed, right? Mary Jane is about smoking weed, but when you listen to the lyrics, you think he's talking about a girl. I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing. But the whole song's about smoking weed. Same thing with Brown Sugar. I met this girl, Brown Sugar. The same. I know he was inspired by Rick James on that, but it was a dope song.
You gotta go further. I don't know what you mean. So he was like doing a.
All the metaphors sounded like he was talking about a woman, but they could be equally applied to a marijuana or a blunt.
I ain't never heard marijuana be referred to as brown sugar though.
Not me either. But let me see. I'll pull up some of the lyrics and see. But I don't. He's not from LA, so everybody got their own lingo in different cities.
Well, if that weed considered brown sugar, that's some dirt.
Okay, how many people do you know call weed Mary Jane?
Yeah, that's a known thing though.
But no one says I need some Mary Jane.
Probably back then, not now.
But even back then, because let's see, that song came out. I don't know what year that was, but I don't recall anybody ever saying Mary Jane for weed, but it was obvious because it's marijuana in English, But yeah, the Brown Sugar song, I believe, was the same sort of thing that Rick James was singing about, and it was a dope song. And let's see, let me tell you about this girl. Maybe I shouldn't. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown Sugar. See, we be making love constantly. That's why my eyes are a shade of blood burgundy. Right there alone, man. Right?
Or go a little further. Let's see.
Okay, go. The way that we kiss is unlike any other way that I be kissing. What I'm kissing, what I'm missing, Won't you listen? Brown sugar babe, I get high off your love. I don't know how to behave. I want some of your brown sugar. Okay, and then they repeat that. then the next verse is, oh, sugar, when you close to me, you love me right down to my knees. And whenever you let me hit it, there you go. There's another reference. Whenever you let me hit it, there's a double entendre right there. Sweet like honey when it comes to me. Skin is caramel with the cocoa eyes. Even got a big sister by the name of Chocolate Tie. Come on, man.
Don't, nah, towards the end it don't. I get the hit it part.
The chocolate tie, chocolate tie is weed from Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a special weed they used to smoke in the 80s. There was indica bud and Thai bud back in the 80s. Nobody says that anymore, but I remember that when I was in junior high. You got that indica bud or you got that Thai bud.
Okay, nah, Alex, you broke it down. All right.
So I think that was one of his biggest hits.
Then you got the other song, he did the video, he was naked and shit.
Yeah. All right, man. He's going to be remembered for a long time to come.
Yeah, rest in peace to him.
All right, man. Let's see. What we're going to talk about right now. I got so much here. There's so much going on in the news with the police in L.A., with the FBI. Let's go to LAPD raids in Rancho San Pedro, RSP. You ever been down to those projects?
Around that area.
I think they only got 2 projects down there. One they tore down, which is the ones they just tore down a couple of years back, where the
Dodge Cities was at?
No, where the Bloods was at. There was a
Bloods in what, San Pedro?
Not San Pedro. I consider just the whole harbor area.
Oh, okay. Probably the ghost towns.
Was it the ghost towns? I actually did an interview. I did an interview with these brothers. We even went to the new spot where they rebuilt the whole.
Because out there you got Waterfront Pyro, Ghost Town, and that's the only Damos that way. You know,
I guess the waterfronts, they were in the projects.
Mm-hmm.
They had to be in the projects. And the Rancho San Pedro projects are still there. They're still alive and well.
Yeah, I think they kind of got a stronghold, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They pretty much been dominating that area for a long time. Let me pull up, let me see, where are my notes at on this? Well, let's just go straight to a clip, and then we'll talk about it. Here's a clip on a LAPD FBI raid on a whole bunch of dudes, allegedly from Rancho San Pedro.
Federal and local authorities have conducted a series of raids in San Pedro, targeting members and also associates of the Mexican Mafia.
Multiple people have been taken into custody. KTLA 5's Lauren Lister live now in San Pedro, where officials are announcing the results of the operation. Lauren.
Yeah, Glenn and Lou, they are just wrapping up giving those announcements inside the police department here. Now, what we are told are that 13 people were taken into custody as part of these arrest and search warrants served at 17 locations early this morning, involving multiple law enforcement agencies, hundreds of personnel, all targeting what they say is one of the most violent and dominant gangs here in the LA Harbor area, known as Rancho San Pedro.
Today marks an important day in basically cutting off the head of the Hydra of one of the most violent street gangs that has been terrorizing San Pedro for years.
Take a look at some of the scenes playing out in multiple locations early this morning in San Pedro with the FBI, the LAPD, U.S. Homeland Security investigations. Now, they tell us this investigation has been going on for years, involving hundreds of law enforcement personnel. The FBI says they were able to target the upper echelon of what they say is this very violent gang. 14 people are charged in a federal complaint that'll be released later today. Authorities say Rancho San Pedro Enterprise is a gang with an estimated 500 members that dates back to the 1970s and is divided into cliques operating under the control of the Mexican Mafia, of members that are incarcerated in California state prisons. The complaint includes RICO, which are racketeering and conspiracy charges, along with drug and weapons-related charges.
The targets of RICO conspiracy and others participated in the RSP enterprise in a variety of ways. Some would use orders from prison on behalf of the Mexican Mafia. These orders include the collection of taxes, drug distribution, firearms, transfers, and decisions about who held what positions within the RSP. Others committed or conspired to commit acts of violence, including murder, to preserve and expand RSP's criminal enterprises and to enhance their own status within the gang.
All right, man, we get the point. What I found interesting in this is that they're calling the gangs now enterprises because it just sounds so good in a federal indictment, huh?
I caught that because they did that with, the 60s.
Yeah, the big U, it was the big U enterprise.
Right.
So now it's the RSP, Rancho San Pedro enterprise.
Right.
That's a new language that we're not used to hearing. That's some 2025 new approach to, I guess, representing LA gangs.
Yeah, they got these words that's supposed to grab the attention of the jurors, and then the public. When you say enterprise, when people gather, they call it takeovers. And, you know they do.
According to the KABC News, it says here 17 state and federal search warrants were served at various locations across the neighborhood as part of a multi-year investigation by the LAPD and HSI, Homeland Security. Several other agencies also carried out the operation. This investigation targeted the Rancho San Pedro gang, which operates under the control of the Mexican Mafia, who are incarcerated in California state prisons. According to an FBI press release, this gang is estimated to consist of 500 members. Hey, I laugh at that because almost every gang that's under investigation or charged or indicted has between 500 and 1,000 members. That's like their go-to number.
Well, it seems like every time it's a Hispanic gang that's under scrutiny, Homeland Security got something to do with it.
Yeah, that's
not the case with the black gangs. You notice?
No, I haven't really looked at that yet, but we'll wait for the next black gang indictment and see if Homeland Security is involved in that, because Homeland Security has definitely been making a name for themselves in 2025.
Only when it's dealing with Hispanic gangs. Watch, we gonna see.
Starting with the ICE raids.
Mm-hmm.
But if so check this out. LA has counted consistently over the years about 40,000 gang members in the city. 40,000. So if you have 40,000 gang members, I'm doing the math on this, and there's approximately 450 gangs in the city, counting the Mexicans too. So if you divide that 40,000 by 450 gangs, you roughly have about just under 100 members per gang. It says 88 members. But if you use this 500 number that they use, right, and you take that and multiply it by 450 gangs in the city. So if we got 450 gangs in the city and they always say that there's 500 members, we are talking about 225,000 gang members in the entire city. That's not possible. That number's impossible, 225,000.
Well, they're not supposed to be including the incarcerated gang members. You know what I'm saying?
And they shouldn't include people who haven't been identified as a gang member in several years. So let's say you got identified, Munchie B, and let's say you got identified in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
They FI card you 2017, but in since 2017 you haven't been identified. They're supposed to take you out of the database after 5 years of no contact. So let's say if that contact was 2017, in 2022 they're supposed to purge you out. We haven't seen Munchie B in 5 years. So we're going to purge them out of the database. But they usually don't, and they'll keep counting you as a member for many years to come.
All right, they shouldn't count. All right, so I was in Ironwood State Prison, which is in the city of Blythe, and that's not a big city. So when they count the population of the city, is they including the population of the inmates in that prison?
I think they do. But you see, an inmate in a prison cannot be counted twice. So if someone goes to that person's family home for, let's say the census is counting people, and they say, hey, how many people live here? The mom might include her son, even though he's in prison, and then he's getting counted in prison in that county.
I don't think they count them, that population that's in the prison.
That's a good question. Do they count? Where do they count prisoners?
I don't think they count them. So they shouldn't be counted when you calculating these members of these gangs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they out the way. The same way we can't vote while we in jail. I think that should be a thing. I think people should be able to vote while they in prison.
Well, has anybody ever tried to push that?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Because that's the only way it's going to happen. Somebody, a prisoner got to file a lawsuit and then make a precedent.
Because these laws affect their prisoners. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so it says here that the U.S. Census counts inmates at the location of their correctional facility as part of its usual residence rule. However, this federal policy is controversial and has led to over a dozen states to pass their own laws that reallocate inmate populations to their last known address before being incarcerated. So there's not a clear, there's not a universal understanding on how to count prisoners. They're doing it both ways.
Yeah, man, that's the forgotten population, man. I ain't counting them people.
But I'm almost certain that if we drove through Rancho San Pedro, and let's not just one time, but we drove through there multiple times, we pulled out, we walked around, we hung out with them. You know how difficult it would be for us to count 500 members over the course of, let's say we did that for 3 months. You ain't gonna count 500 dudes.
They supposed to specify 500 members with 90 active members.
Sometimes they do that, but they didn't do that here. Yeah.
Because let's keep it real. When you go to any neighborhood, if you go for 3 weeks straight, you basically seeing the same faces.
Exactly.
You're not seeing like it's not like a shopping mall where it's new faces that come through every day. So yeah, they got to get that right.
It would be a great study to compare the government's number on gangs, and then have people actually go out there and show like, hey, I went out there for 2 months and I was able to meet 40 IFGs. Right. I met 40 IFGs over a 3-month period, and the police is saying, I think they've used the number 1,000 with your neighborhood before in the past.
Because if you ranging back to when Inglewood family was founded in the early 70s, all the way to 2025, 2026, and then you including members that ain't been around in 20 years, and then some that's in jail and that's not around, and come on, ain't no telling if they including people that's deceased, like, you know what I'm saying? But if you go to any hood, Inglewood, Compton, Long Beach, South Central, and if you hang around for a month straight, you're gonna see the same faces. You're not gonna see this 500 people they talking about. You gonna see the same 30. Yeah. Unless it's the hood day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they gotta get that right with the numbers, man. And y'all heard it here first. They need to let the inmates vote.
So my question to you, Munchie, is why do you think law enforcement likes to use these extremely inflated numbers, 500, 800, 1,000? Why do you think they consistently use these in these articles and these press releases?
To get what they need done and to manipulate the public that really ain't privy and aware of what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Get laws passed, make stuff seem way worse than what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is. I think I was reading in one of the Blackstone indictments. They said it was 1,200 members. Of course, you know, the jungles, you can get away with that because it's a more dense, higher populated area. Mm-hmm. But it ain't 1,200 people, you know, hanging out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like a parade every day if that's the case.
Yeah, they indicted like 50 dudes, and then not all 50 of those dudes is even from Blackstone.
Any indictment, whenever they come down with an indictment, everybody in that indictment not gonna be from that particular gang.
Okay, and then the other issue I wanted to say about this indictment is they love to throw that Mexican Mafia label in there, and in many instances that's also an exaggerated expression just to create a little bit fear in the community and in the courts, because everybody knows that the Mexican Mafia, you know, they got a treacherous little history. And as long as the law enforcement can tie in what these dudes do in prison to what a bunch of guys is doing on the streets, it bolsters their case.
And they got to know these people, a large percentage of them never have met none of these Mexican Mafia members.
And never will. And they never will.
Never will.
And most of the activities, not all, but most of the activities that these guys are doing is not even related to the Mexican Mafia. The guy gets arrested with a gun. You know, he got a gun offense. Now, there is some taxing that's going on. I ain't naive to that. There is some taxing going on, and certain guys in certain neighborhoods are paying the taxes, but not everybody's paying the tax because not everybody's out there on the block hustling.
Right.
You know, so it's not tied in to the Mexican Mafia as these press releases make it seem. And then, of course, in court, the same thing happens. And I've been on cases where judges have told the prosecution, I don't want to hear nothing about the Mexican Mafia in any of your questions with this detective.
Right, because that's a tool to taint the jury.
Yeah. He said, this is not a Mexican Mafia case. You guys haven't presented no evidence linking any of these guys to the Mexican Mafia. So I'm not going to allow any Mexican Mafia questions. And that's the way it's, and I usually agree with that when a judge says that, because they know what the prosecution is trying to do.
Especially if the defendant never been to the penitentiary. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, but there's been a few cases where they are allowed to bring that in, and there's usually a bigger link between the guys on the streets and the guys in the prison. But yeah, that's another issue that this indictment brings up. But I wanted to ask you about this. This is funny. It kind of reminds me of the Rakeem Prowell. He was luring gay dudes on an app, and it appears his whole purpose was to kill. Well, there's this woman named Adva Levie. She's 27, and she's been luring older men in, but not to kill. She's been luring older men off of apps to rob them. And she's been quite successful robbing a variety of people. And she was, I think she was recently arrested. Let me see if I have a clip on this young lady, because she was out here doing her thing. So let me start off with this article that talks about Adva Levie. It's titled, "Men Thought They Were Going on a Date with a Model. Police claim she burglarized their homes instead." That's the title of the article. Adva Levie is wanted by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department in connection with a string of burglaries. Now, they got a photo of her, and it's hard for me to tell if she's white or if she's Latina or if she's Persian. It's hard to pinpoint. And then with her name, Adva Levie, I don't know what kind of name that is. But it says Los Angeles authorities are seeking a woman wanted in connection with a stretch of burglaries targeting the homes of older men. Police say Adva Levie is accused of posing as a girlfriend or companion on social media before allegedly targeting men. Authorities are seeking additional potential victims. The LAPD and the LA County Sheriffs are searching for a model accused of posing as a companion and before allegedly burglarizing men. Adva Levie also goes by the name Mia Ventura, Shoshana, and Shana, and she is wanted in connection with a whole bunch of residential burglaries. Suspect Levie, is it Levie here? They're saying Levie, Lavie, has been involved in a series of residential burglaries throughout the county, targeting older men. This article seems to be very redundant. They're saying the same thing over, but according to the Sheriff's Department, Levie is 5'7", 105 pounds. I saw photos of her. She looks bigger than 105 pounds.
Bitty bitty, man.
And she drives both a black Porsche SUV and a white Mercedes-Benz sedan.
She get to the money. Okay, Adva.
Yeah, and she is an attractive woman, whatever race or ethnicity she is.
Okay. Find your Facebook, baby.
But she ain't gonna be free for long. They're blasting her picture everywhere, and
I wonder how many victims she got.
I think that a lot of these victims are embarrassed to come forward because they're thinking like, "Oh, this pretty woman was interested in me, and she wanted to hang out with me." Nah, she wasn't interested in you at all. She knew that you had some paper, and that's why she was willing to holler at you.
It made me wonder if she got a boyfriend that she was partnering up with.
And this other article from CBS News says that she was using dating apps before burglarizing. So, and you notice they never want to say the name of the apps. I guess they don't want to get these apps in trouble, or they don't want the apps to file lawsuits. Or
my common sense tell me she didn't act alone. She got a little boyfriend. They Bonnie and Clyde on that one.
Oh yeah, because she definitely needs protection because you don't know really who you're hooking up with.
I don't think she burglarizing stuff though. That's what I'm saying. I think she doing the dating part. They out on a date while the house getting ramshacked, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, they're not telling us the method of the burglary, but I do remember me and FG covered a similar story. Man, this was back in 2022. I think the woman was drugging the men, and then once they're passed out, you know, she got a free for all through the house, you know, and she was operating alone. And dang, I don't remember it's been about 3 years since we talked about this, but there's another picture of her here, and she does look a little Latina. She's using one of her AKAs is Mia Ventura. That's a Spanish name. And they got pictures of her cars, actual suspect vehicle. They got a picture of her white car and her
Porsche.
And the black Porsche. Yeah, the black car is a Porsche, and this white car
Mercedes
is a nice. Ooh, it's a nice Mercedes. Ooh, it's a nice 2-door Mercedes with a sunroof. So yeah, they don't really go into how she does this. And check this out: a podcast host named Michael Sartain, who had Levie on his show, said that she's very charismatic, but that the investigation doesn't come much as a surprise to him. Oh, I got to find that interview. She did an interview.
Okay.
It says here, she's a saleswoman, makes it feel normal that you gift her money on a regular basis, the podcast host said. For the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department to come after her isn't surprising. It just means she couldn't stop stealing.
He's saying that for a reason.
I guess he didn't like her attitude when she came on the show.
She's probably giving gold digger.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But what is it about her that what made you even do content with her, interviewer?
I know. You know, a lot of these influencers, it's easy to get on a podcast if you're a pretty girl, nice body. I saw a picture of her when I was researching this before, and it looked like she's got like implants, you know, big old
bosoms.
Yeah, big old circular bosom. Them circular bosoms give it away each time.
Mm-hmm. They just a perfect circle.
Yeah, perfect. I hate those perfect circle titties, man. I really do. But I think these pretty IG influencer girls don't have a hard time getting on a podcast to talk about dating, right? What else you gonna talk about?
So she an influencer.
Well, everything here about her is about social media. She's luring dudes on apps. She's on social media showing herself off, and she was on this guy's podcast.
I wonder what's her Instagram.
She was stealing from them and then stating, "If you go to the cops, I will claim that you raped me." The podcast host Sartain said, "I've heard 2 guys say that they've specifically been extorted by her."
What? Oh, there go her method.
Yeah, and jail records show that she has been previously arrested on a burglary charge but was released after posting bail. Then no charges were filed in that case. So this was she. Yeah, okay. Oh, what city is she from though? I don't know.
And how old is she? What's her age?
Yeah, she's 27. And she's doing all of this here in LA, but I don't know if she's from here.
She from here.
Adva Levie. It's not Levine. I pronounced it Levine earlier. It's Levie, Lavie, or Levie. I just thought that she's really she's gonna run to the end of the road at some point. You can't get away with that too long.
She need to lawyer up at this point. You know what I'm saying? You know they're looking for you, lawyer up.
And let's see, Adva Levie. Let's see if there's any.
I don't know how many victims she got.
Yeah, and the method.
And it's crazy when you do this. It ain't smart to go on a podcast and everybody get there like, man, that's the girl.
Yeah, she's been her photo has been plastered everywhere. This one article calls her a former penthouse pet. So there, she's received a level of recognition in the past. So that's one reason why you might want to interview her. She was a penthouse pet.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, let me play this clip real quick. Let's see here.
She interesting.
Yeah, she's got a little gangster in her, huh?
Yeah, she could have a little movie. I'll watch it.
Okay, here we go. This is a clip from Eyewitness News. Let's see here.
New details on this former penthouse pet accused by the LA County Sheriff's Department of targeting wealthy men, then leaving with their loot. Tonight we're learning more. There may be more victims than first thought. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher live now with new details. Michelle.
Well, Mark, the LA County Sheriff's Department has identified this woman as a burglary suspect who likes to take from her elderly male victims. But tonight, we're hearing from someone who says her propensity for theft knows no age or gender.
I'm surprised it took this long to catch her.
She's got a beautiful face and a reputation that's got the attention of the LA County Sheriff's Department. Investigators looking for this woman, Adva Levie, an adult model who also goes by Mia Ventura, Shoshana, or Shayna. Levie suspected of targeting elderly men through online dating apps and then posing as a potential companion only to burglarize their homes. Investigators now seeking additional victims who may have been duped.
There's probably going to still be a lot of people who aren't willing to come forward because no matter what happens, just say you work at a law firm or you've been married for 10 years, what were you doing dealing with this Playboy model in the first place?
Michael Sartain has seen firsthand how Adva Levie works. He knew her as Mia when she appeared on his podcast, Access Vegas, on election night.
She is from Israel. She's a model, and she's training to be a realtor. It's Mia Ventura. Mia?
Hi, nice to be here.
But notice here the empty chair.
She gets up and she's gone for about 23 minutes. Then she comes back, and then around the hour and a half mark, she leaves again.
Sartain says in that time, Levie went into the green room and stole cash and credit cards out of the purses of the other guests, before then returning again nonchalantly.
She just sat there cool as a cucumber, just talking about the election while she had everyone's stuff in her purse just sitting right behind her.
Also in that episode, listen as Levie describes her ideal relationship.
I just want to be home and find a man and cook for him and just be a wife.
Levie's alleged actions, though seemingly contradicting that statement, and as the search for her and her victims continues, Sartain has this warning from one man to another.
Stop paying women for their time in any capacity whatsoever. Go out with a woman who actually wants to go out with you, not because of how much money you have.
All right, we got the point on that.
Yes.
And I have seen this guy's podcast before. They talk about relationships, Michael Sartain, and he will shit on a woman in a heartbeat if there's a reason to shit on her, and you can tell he's
I gotta tap in with him. I agree, bro. A woman's supposed to like you for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not for what you got. You know what I'm saying? And dang, she got a formula. She targeting the elderly dude, sugar daddy, in a sense.
Hey, wasn't that cool how she got up from it's like the podcast is set up with a bunch of female guests. It's like two guys hosting the show, and they have like 8 girls. This is their formula. They bring a bunch of girls on just to talk about relationships. So she went to the green room where all the other 8 girls or the 7 girls' purses are, and went through them all.
Hers is with her. Her purse is with her.
And stole all their stuff.
Credit cards and cash.
Oh, she stole all their stuff. She gonna get caught eventually though. But all right, man.
And they don't want to say they're not specifying no male victims though. I want to know how many male victims did she get away with?
Well, that's a problem because if you are a male victim, you're going to be a little embarrassed. You're probably not even going to file a charge. You probably don't even want to press charges. You probably take that L. All right, yeah, she got me for about 5 racks. I just take that L. She found $5,000 I had in my drawer, and so she got me for a watch.
So if you at the house and y'all just chilling, I gotta use the bathroom. She get up. She think she in there taking a dump instead of going through your belongings in your room.
At least we haven't heard anything about her drugging the dudes. I don't know if that's another charge if you're drugging them, but yeah, she's wanted. She's wanted, and I bet you she'll be caught before the end of the month. She can't go nowhere. She's all over.
No, she probably gone already.
And I guess
she kind of sophisticated, bro.
And I guess her ethnicity is Israeli, which right. I could see that because there's a beautiful Israeli actress that I always find her attractive. Gal Gadot. She played Wonder Woman. I think her name is Gal Gadot, and she's Israeli. And I was listening to a top 10. These guys on Instagram, they do like top 10s. They said the top 10 most beautiful women, And I said, if they're doing a top 10, Gail Gadot better be in that. And she was in that top 10. So some Israeli women definitely, she does kind of look like Gail Gadot a little bit in the face.
Hey man, look, she could use a little movie.
Yeah.
Depending on how long she been doing this, how many victims she got, she could get a movie.
But part of the movie is going to be her getting arrested, her going on trial, getting her time, and then getting out. And then, that's part of the movie. That part hasn't happened in her life yet. She's only 27.
She need to go to jail, take pictures from jail, and meet a wealthy man from jail, get released to him.
She hasn't done any time yet. She hasn't done any time, and I think this case is going to give her some real time for the first time in her life.
She got away with the other burglary.
Yeah, they just dropped it. And let's talk about a whole bunch of brothers that got away with some other stuff that, well, I don't want to say they got away with anything. I think some of these brothers were just overcharged, not even charged, but just over-arrested. And I'm talking about the recent arrest of 18 Pirus from the west side of Compton. Most of them are from Campanella. I don't know where everybody's from, but when these things happen, that usually people ain't all from the same set. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there might be a couple fruit towns in this list. There might be a couple of west sides. But 18 people were just recently arrested. And I was able to get a list of 16 of the people that were actually arrested. Two have not been named. Let me read a little bit of this press release so we can hear how serious this is, right? And then we're going to show you how not serious it was. But it says here, early Thursday morning, LA County Sheriff's Departments led a large-scale multi-action search warrant operation stemming from an investigation into the murder of a 46-year-old Aaron Hammer that occurred on August 26, 2025. I had told you about this homicide before, and you really weren't tapped in with it.
Huh? I was tapped in with it?
No, you said that nobody knows about this homicide because...
No. You thought it was good. You said why it wasn't talked about more.
Yeah.
But he not the catch. It's who he killed who he unalived was the catch. They know more about the case than the person.
Well,
so to talk about him would be pointless.
Well, he was well known
in the Crip community.
Yeah, at the time, because he did some time. He just got out of prison doing about 20 years.
But I was saying he as a person not worth covering. Like nobody cared about him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe because they don't know, but if people did a dive,
I know about it the morning it happened
on Aaron Hammer.
Next morning,
Aaron Hammer is the one that killed Serena and Venus Williams' sister.
Right.
Back in the day, I think that was early 2000s, in a shooting that he was trying to shoot somebody else that was in the same car with Yatunda Price. And then Yatunda Price is the victim that the game shouted out one of his songs, Yatunda Price. Mm-hmm. So eventually he was I think he's the only one that was convicted. No, I think it was two people convicted and he was one of them. And then I think he stands out because he's a white boy from Southside Compton Crip. That's Aaron Hammer.
Right.
Okay, so this is an investigation that started with his homicide in August, which occurred on the 1300 block of South Long Beach Boulevard in Compton. During that same incident, deputies pursuing the armed suspects came under fire, resulting in the attempted murder of one of the deputies. So that's what kind of made it stand out. Aaron Hammer got shot. The deputies were in the area, and they chased down the car that did it. And that, according to this press release, resulted in a shootout with the deputies.
Right.
We don't know how true that is, but if it is, they should have cameras, dash cam and body cam cameras should show this. The operation also stemmed from an ongoing investigation by the FBI, San Gabriel Valley Safe Streets Task Force, which comprised of federal agents and members of the LA County Sheriff's Department in a criminal gang activities operating in and around Compton area. All right, so this is a longer press release, but you get the idea that a bunch of dudes from Compton was wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they arrested 18 dudes. 16 of them are listed here by name. The first person named is Justin Lawson. He was arrested on October 9th, and he was released. DA reject. Straight up DA reject. That's what it says on the sheriff's website. He got a DA reject. Second person, Rashad Daniels. He was booked, released on the same day. He was just booked and released, not even charged. The third person, Edward Padilla, released per 849B1, which means insufficient evidence to file a criminal complaint. So the first three, they're already case dismissed. Number 4, Alan Jones, released per 849B1, which means insufficient evidence to charge. So he's released. He was released on the 13th. Metrell Patterson, 35 years old. He was arrested for narcotics violation, released per 849B1. Insufficient evidence. Brandon Johnson, arrested. He was released on the same day, and it just says with a citation. He got a citation.
Cited him out from the station.
Yeah. Victor White, there's a Victor White Jr. and Victor White Sr. Senior, released per 849B1, insufficient evidence. And Junior was booked and released on the same day. I believe this was the 9th. So both Junior and Senior are released. And I can go through all of this. I'm just going to say this. Everyone has been released either through a DA reject, an OR, or insufficient evidence, except for one person. He got no bail, but he hasn't went to court yet. Another person is a question mark. It doesn't give any information. And a third person he's still in custody, but has not been charged yet. So of these 16, pretty much most of them, if not all of them, either are already home or about to come home. It just doesn't make any sense. They made a big hurrah about arresting these 18 guys. Of these 16 here that are named, only one guy is still in custody with no bail.
And he about to be out soon.
He might be out because he hasn't went to court.
Right.
Everyone had a different court date. Some people went to court on the 13th, 14th, or 15th. Everyone who went to court on the 13th has been released. Has been released. And the 16th person mentioned on here got a DA reject. So it's unclear with like 2 people. But we could update this next week. I'm going to go out on a limb and say all 16 of these people, I'm going to say 15 of these 16 people are probably going to be home and no charges ever filed.
Yeah, wasting time and resources.
I just don't understand it. This is one of the most bizarre gang sweeps I've ever seen, where 90% of the people you've arrested are released.
More than 90.
I guess let's say 18 arrested and already confirmed of these 16, 13 are already home. 13 are already home. 3, it's unclear. And the other 2, I don't know who they are. They didn't name it. It says here that 2 additional suspects were arrested on unrelated charges to this investigation, totaling 18 arrests. They did post photos of all the stuff they uncovered, a bunch of guns, bags of weed. It says here 23 firearms. They call it here fire suppressors, but I was surprised. I saw 2 silencers in these photos. 2 silencers. They call them firearm suppressors. High-capacity firearm magazines, along with a significant quantity of suspected methamphetamine, cocaine, fentanyl, marijuana, and other narcotics for the purpose of sales and multiple locations. A large sum of currency was also seized. I mean,
I call cap.
These are, I know, I was going to say, these are serious offenses. If you got caught with all of this stuff, why is everybody released? Everybody.
Right. I call cap.
What do you mean? How far are you saying is the cap? The photos or that 18 people are involved in this operation? Somebody had to do, maybe 1 or 2 people, maybe 3 at the most. And I thought this was an investigation into the killing of White Boy.
And that's probably why they had to get DA rejects, because you got a warrant for one thing, you come across others, then that ain't what the warrant was for.
But let me also say this to everybody that's listening. They can refile at any time. You know, they could refile. Yeah, they could refile, but to have everyone released or most of the people released, 90% of the people released within 4 days of being arrested is unusual. I haven't been able to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I think it's weak, and they didn't have a real reason to come and bother these people. Came across other stuff that was unrelated to what they supposed to search for, and look, now you got to let them go.
But I did notice a couple of ORs, and that's because of the 2023 bail reform laws that went into effect, which I believe you were able to take advantage of that in a recent case.
Right.
And we see some ORs right here with this Campanella Park Pirus case. I'm not surprised, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to start making up rumors of people telling and
no, they're not.
all that BS.
No, not on this.
I'm talking about like some of the internet personalities that want to create content.
Oh yeah. We already had one. I don't want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one already. Throwing this low.
Are you aware of how many people were in that car when they got arrested after the alleged white boy situation?
3.
Okay, so that's all I see. If they're investigating that, then that should just be 3 arrests.
Right.
But they got 18 arrests here. They got photos of all kind of dope and drugs, but they let everybody out. It says here, this operation underscores the sheriff's department's ongoing and resolute efforts to dismantle violent street gangs, disrupt organized criminal enterprises, and remove dangerous individuals from our neighborhoods. But you released everybody. So
yeah, they ain't really had nothing.
Yeah. I think these types of operations, we need to really highlight how sometimes law enforcement is a little over aggressive and
over exaggerate things.
Yeah, a little overzealous. And once the DA probably was looking at this, they didn't see clear cases. I mean, how many DA rejects we got here? At least 2 or 3 DA rejects. I guess anything that says 849B1, that's considered a DA reject.
Yeah, it's lack of evidence.
Yeah. So quite a few DA rejects, quite a few book and released, quite a few ORs, and maybe 1 or 2 people in custody. And that's it.
Them 2 people in custody, they probably been in custody.
And the oldest guy here arrested was 60 years old, and the youngest dude arrested was 20.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. I definitely want to talk about this shootout between a young man from Harlem Crip on Jefferson and 9th Ave and 2 LAPD officers. I'm not sure if the second LAPD officer shot. I know you're familiar with this. I don't remember if the female returned fire. I don't know if it was just between him and the male officer, but there was a male and a female officer trying to apprehend a dude in a liquor store. They got to pulling on his arm because they knew he had a strap tucked in his waistband. He ran to the back of the store, down the aisle. Now, the way I see it from another angle, he turned around. His arm turned around, pointed the gun at one of the officers, and I believe the officer shot first. We talked about this before, and you said the officer shot first. I think you're right, but he shot because
you could hear about the caliber. You could hear the different guns. You know what I'm saying? You could hear that the they got the higher caliber firearm. The police got off first, but I think he was trying to run to the back of the store to try to tuck the gun, try to like toss it, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, the liquor store was small. There was really nothing to. You weren't going to get anywhere.
Yeah, but when you desperate, you desperate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he could have hid in the freezer, he would have.
So he's in custody. His name's Malik Salaah. They gave him a $3 million bail, which if that wasn't the police, his bail would not even be over $1 million. It'd probably be like in the hundreds of thousands, maybe.
No, it'd still be in the millions because if you get cracking inside of a liquor store, close quarters like that, it looks like you're endangering people. It would have been like an M or more.
Yeah, but a murder, you can get a bail for $1 million for murder, or $2 million. You can get $1 million or $2 million for murder.
If those was two regular people, it would have been the same thing.
$3 million bail?
No, not 3. It would have been not 3, but in a million, like probably $1 million, 1.5 million or something like that.
Yeah, I think they found the highest on the chart to give him a bail for shooting at 2 LAPD officers and shooting up the car and everything. There's bullet holes in the car. He did it up. Let me see if I have a clip here. Let me play this clip.
LA liquor store. The incident happened on August 31st, shortly after 1 in the morning, inside the business at the corner of 9th Avenue and West Jefferson Boulevard. LAPD officers who'd been doing extra patrols in the area, entering the store after they first spotted the suspect moments earlier. The officers first speak with the man, noticing he was concealing a firearm in his waistband. Things take a turn when they eventually move in to detain him.
I don't have no weapons,
Just relax.
sir.
Just relax.
Hey,
Just calm down, bro. Just calm down.
Hold on.
This angle from the store's surveillance cameras capturing the moments as they played out like something out of an action movie. The man, later identified as 33-year-old Malik Salaah, firing at officers, bullets hitting snacks as they fly off the shelves. Salaah eventually running out of the store where officers were taking cover behind their patrol car.
Come out, come out, come out. Get back.
The store security cameras again capturing Salaah, who is dripping blood from his left arm. Using his right arm, he fires multiple shots through the open front door.
He's going to be running eastbound. Oh, Jefferson from 9th Ave.
Additional officers establishing a perimeter, eventually locating Salaah, who was hiding behind a parked vehicle.
Put your hands up.
As officers move in to make the arrest, Salah's left arm is limp and bloodied after he was struck by officers' gunfire.
Suffering from a GSW to the left arm.
As Salaah was transported to the hospital for treatment, investigators recovered an unloaded 9mm handgun with a high-capacity magazine at the scene underneath a parked car. These images showing some of the damage to the liquor store, bullet holes in cars at the scene, including the officer's LAPD cruiser. And the man involved, Malik Salaah, now facing 2 counts of attempted murder on a peace officer and 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm. Reporting live tonight.
Hey, there were 4 bullet holes in the LAPD car outside the liquor store.
All right, I did hear the police say gun.
Yeah, I noticed that. I didn't hear that the first time.
But I don't, man. So you seen him pointing? Because I think he was trying to get on and like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like Tucky.
Unfortunately, there's footage in the store that they go to,
and then they bust on him, bro. They struck him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did. But there's a nice angle in the store where he's pointing the gun back at the officers while he's running down the aisle.
Man, I think, instead of he seen him, and I guess he tried to like wander off and walk in the store like and try to probably play it off like you about to go buy something. Man, you should have just start tracking from right there.
He shouldn't have went in the store, right? He should have just went.
You kind of box yourself in. You should have just pew.
Yeah.
Just break, and then you could run far enough to toss it, and then just throw your hands up like, damn, bro. But you know, I'm glad they let him surrender. You know what I mean? Instead of downing him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When he went in the store, I think he was pretending like he was looking at some snacks.
Right.
And the cops knew like this dude is just trying to play it off.
Man, I hope he could strike a good deal. You know what I'm saying? Like take 20, 25 or something.
And the problem with him is that he didn't realize when he was standing on the sidewalk outside the street, they saw the gun. They saw it in his waist. Like he was manipulating it or something. Like he did something.
Probably trying to adjust it.
Yeah, trying to adjust it. They saw him do something, and then when he saw, oh shit, the LAPD, he walked in the store thinking, oh, they didn't see me. Let me just walk in here, get out the way. And no, they saw, and they came right in there, and boom. Hey, this could have almost ended up like the case that we talked about earlier in this episode, where he actually killed the cop, Officer Ontiveros. In this situation, everybody survived. That's the good thing. Everybody survived. And usually when you're in close quarter shootout like that with the police and you make it out alive, that's very fortunate because that LAPD officer is trained to hit center mass. And because he was running and he was a moving target, he only hit the arm and missed his chest. But he's lucky he didn't end up getting laid out in the back of that liquor store.
Man, Man, he lucky they let him surrender, man. That ain't how they get down. You know how the police like, you know, bust on them. Come on. His shop already empty. They would have. That's cool. They let him surrender and didn't down him, man.
Yeah, because when he came out the store, continually busting, if you're the cop, you're like, this dude Malik Salaah is trying to kill me. So we have every right to try to kill him. And yeah, you're right. They took him into custody without incident. And I think I heard the woman officer say his name, like, come out, Salaah. So they know him.
I don't know if I heard that. I think I heard come out.
Okay, let me play it again and see if I heard that.
Come out.
Car.
Get back.
Man, good luck on your case, Malik, for sure. Hopefully you can strike a deal. You know what I'm saying? They got these things called trial lawyers. You got a deal lawyer. You need a deal lawyer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and get you the best deal possible. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you get like a dub, 25.
You think that'd be a good deal? 25?
Yep.
Man.
That'd be a great deal. Cause you bark back. I ain't gonna say barked on them. Bark back. Cause they shocked you. And then shit, you put holes in their patrol car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh man. 25 is a lot of time. I don't even think that's a deal.
That's a deal.
To me, a deal would be something under 20 without an L. He can get a life sentence for this. So
if he could get a life sentence, why 25 wouldn't be a deal?
Flat 25?
25 years is a deal. If I was him, I'll hop on 25 years.
I would try to get something in the teens. 16, 17, 18, argue that I wasn't in my right state of mind. I was in fear for my life. I wasn't thinking right. I was under the influence. All
if
that.
I'm mistaken, the police came in with their gun out.
What do you mean?
The officer already had his gun out when he came in the store, right or wrong?
No, I think they just walked in. And then as soon as he ran, the male officer pulled it out.
That's unfortunate, man.
And they got footage. The liquor store had. Oh wow! He walked out the store, and it's just a picture of him and two other guys hanging on the corner, and you could tell he's looking down the street, and he sees them. Even though the cops ain't in the shot, you could tell. Oh shit! He's got this look like, oh shit, there go the police. Let me walk back in. So he's got this guilty look on his face, like, let me get out of here. Let me walk in the store. He would. I think you're right that he would have had a better chance just walking down the street. Then you have the option to run.
And toss.
You got many directions you can go. You can run in this yard, that yard, toss the gun. He went into the store, and you don't have many options in that store.
I know he thinking about all the options he had now.
Yeah, I'm sure he's regretting going in that store.
Right. I should have kept it pushing up 95 and. Phew.
Now, I'm trying to see if the guy had his gun in his hand, the cop, when he walks in.
Yeah, if they show from the other angle, he had a gun in his hand when he walked in the store.
No, but the cop is actually, now you can see the cop's left hand grabbing Malik Salaah's right arm. And let's see if I can see the other hand. Oh, yeah. He put both hands on him. The cop put both hands on him to I guess, put him into custody. He's got his right hand on Malik Salaah's left wrist, and the cop's left arm is trying to grab his right arm. Malik kind of just swings out of the grip. He just, swings his arms out the grip and then runs down the aisle. And right at that moment, he slips out of the grip. Yeah, so the cop has both his hands on Malik, and he's able to slip out of the grip, run down the aisle, and then boom, he starts shooting. The woman doesn't even have her gun drawn. I can see the woman in the body cam footage of the cop, and her gun is still holstered, while the male cop has his gun already gripped by both hands. And Malik is at the end of the aisle. He gets to the end of the aisle when the shots start going off on him. So, and he's turning. That's why he got shot in the right arm, I guess. He's turning to the right. He's going to the right at the end of the aisle and gets hit in the arm, shoulder, bicep area as he's running off. But you also know sometimes people get shot in the arm. That bullet goes through the arm and right into your chest. I've seen some autopsy reports where a guy dies from a gunshot that enters his arm and lands right into the chest.
Through and through.
Yeah. This is some pretty hardcore footage too.
Free Malik, man.
Free Malik. Malik he ain't getting free. He ain't getting free no time soon. But let's take a guess, man. I'm gonna guess that he takes a deal for less than 20. I'm gonna say 18, 19 years. Because here's my argument if I'm the lawyer. None of you guys were hurt. None of you guys were hit. None of you guys were really ever in a threat, even though he did have a weapon. And by the time he really started busting on y'all was behind the car. Yes, what he did was wrong. Yes, he wasn't in his right state of mind. And negotiate somewhere in the high teens without an L.
Not gonna happen.
The worst case scenario is he gets a life sentence. That's the worst case scenario.
I don't keep it real. I think 25 years would be good for him, but chances is ain't gonna happen. He'll get like 40 to life.
Yeah, and there's a chance that there's no deal and they just take it to trial to make an example of him. You know, no deal. We're going to trial.
In the perfect world, he'd get 25, but that ain't gonna happen. He'll get like 40 to life, bro.
And if he takes it to trial, all this video is gonna bury him in front of a jury.
Then they go bring up the Harlem Crip.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's looking bad for Malik Salaah. I don't know why you thought to do that. I'm sitting here scratching my head. I don't know why the 58-year-old man just thought to himself, I'd rather shoot it out with the police than cough over my driver's license.
The 58-year-old man just got a problem with authority. That's clear.
Yeah.
That's clear right there.
Now, do you think that he should get a bail hearing, waste his time on a bail reduction hearing?
If I was him, I wouldn't care because I know I can't touch it.
Meaning that even if it's reduced down to $1 million, you're not getting out.
I mean, you could bail out on $1 million if your people got property.
Yeah, there's a chance he can get bailed out if it's reduced
to M. Yeah, but man,
a lot of the dudes in the Harlems actually do have property. Those are all houses over there. There's a lot of houses, mostly houses, and all those houses is worth like $800, $900, $1 million.
Part of my hood where I'm from, it's a lot of nice houses, cool houses. So far into a dome, got it going up as far as retail value. You know what I'm saying? So
I remember I was looking at Inglewood to buy a house in the 2000s. Let's say 06, around 06.
If you would have hopped on it, you would have been on.
Well, I ended up buying somewhere else, but the houses were between $300,000 and $400,000, and I was staying and back then I was like, man, that's a little too high. Those house prices are non-existent right now.
Right.
And I was complaining about it being high back then. But I think if Malik Salaah got a granny over there, and she got
granny, everybody ain't messing with their family members like that. They don't trust them to put their house up. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen some grannies do it.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't know if my mom doing it. Not for real, but I wouldn't even do my mama like that. You know what I'm saying? And have the people take her house from her for me running. But I don't know. I'm just be sitting there because my mom ain't doing it, bro.
All right, so Malik Salaah was arrested on August 31st, and they got him listed at 5'7", 140. He looked a little heavier than that. And he was booked in the Olympic division. Okay, I thought that was Southwest over there on Jefferson and 9th Ave, but it says he was booked by Olympic, which is a new division. It's one of the newer divisions, and he's got $3.2 million bail. And he's in Twin Towers. And his next court date is October 28th.
He go to court on my birthday.
All righty. Let's see. Last thing I want to holler at before we wrap this up. Let's see. Before we wrap this up, There's so much going on. This cargo theft. I thought this was. I think we may have covered this $1.4 million cargo theft in a previous episode of Straight Politicking. It's hard for me to keep track of all these different offenses. Do you recall any us covering this, something like this?
Yeah. They found a lot of stuff like in the Willowbrook area, and then there's another one when the Amazon trucks got hit.
Yeah. Well, they arrested. Somehow they tracked this guy to his house or a house he was using, and they went through this house, and it's millions of dollars of shoes, boxes of shoes, electronics, clothes, and this is a multi-bedroom house, and each room is just full of stuff, stuff that I guess they allegedly took off this cargo train. And I don't know why. And it's in this house in such a sloppy way. It's just boxes and boxes and boxes of Nikes just stacked on each other. And then when you go into the backyard, it is nothing but just boxes of items. And I don't know if they're trying to get rid of it, if they're trying to sell it, but somehow they tracked this dude to this address and he got arrested.
Smart snitching.
I was thinking that too. Let me see if I got let me pull up an article on this, because let's see if the article gives us any indication of what happened to this guy or how they busted this guy. But let's see here. So I found this article, KTLA 5. The title is $1.4 million in stolen sneakers, electronics from train cargo found in Los Angeles home. A 41-year-old man was arrested in LA after police found $1.4 million in stolen train cargo during a search. The raid led to the recovery of stolen items, including Nike shoes, Milwaukee tools, and electronic equipment. The suspect was booked on suspicion of receiving stolen property and released. Check this out. He was released on an OR later that day. This guy gets caught with a $1.4 million in items, and he's out on an OR.
Right.
Okay, that's crazy. His name was Alejandro Aguilar Espinoza. He was arrested on Verona Street in Boyle Heights, a predominantly Latino section of LA. Police said detectives who took part in the operation recovered a bunch of Nikes and other tools. He was booked on suspicion of receiving stolen property. Oh, okay. So you know what he said. Oh, I didn't know this stuff was stolen off of a cargo. I just accepted a bunch of stuff from somebody. That's his excuse.
He probably didn't say nothing at all, because what that fall up under? If you ain't got him on the exact crime,
just receiving stolen property.
Right.
That's it.
You found some stuff that don't belong to me in my house.
But I wonder if the receiving stolen property offense goes up when it's like over $1 million of stuff, But hey, he's released on an OR. It says here the detectives with the LAPD's Commercial Crimes Division Cargo Theft Unit were assisted in the operation by the Union Pacific Railroad Police, LAPD, Airport Police. They had a bunch of different agencies involved in here. No other details were released on when or where the seized merchandise was stolen. Anyone with additional information, contact LAPD. Okay, so I was trying to figure out if there was a clue of how they were able to trace this man to this house. But I also think that his neighbors could have told on him, because everything in his backyard, his whole backyard and his driveway was just full of stuff. Stacks.
His driveway too?
Yeah, the driveway had boxes and boxes. Some of this stuff had to be visible from the neighbors and from the front yard and from the street. So ain't no telling how he was popped. But hey, he's out on the OR.
Unless that's his property, but he don't live here.
No, there's no way that's his property. It's just too much stuff.
No, that could be his property, but he don't live here. You could have some property, don't know what's going on your property.
Oh, you mean that's the house is his property?
His house.
Okay, not the items.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like they got him on anything but receiving stolen property, and that's about it. All right, man. Where can they tap in with you though?
MB_the mayor, MB_THA mayor, and get up with me. Morals Over Money on YouTube. Subscribe.
And tap in with me, Alex Alonso 101. And if you're interested in any of these stories, I will have some of the links to these articles in the show notes or in the description below. Make sure you're tapping in with us on all podcast platforms, audio based. If you just want to hear the audio, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we out.